was beautiful.
Why, thank you. Welcome everyone. After our 1 week hiatus, we're back. Blythe will be here shortly to welcome you to our grotto of wonders.
I was gonna say sin, but sure.
Well, sin and wonders. There are many wonders to be obtained from sin.
Yeah.
Some of the most wonderful experiences of my life have been sin related, sin adjacent.
Yeah. I'm a fan of gluttony.
Yeah, I mean, really, all 7.
They're all pretty good.
Yeah.
In some way or another.
Yeah, like, I even got to flip off a person that I really fucking hated in public. So wrath, I got my wrath jollies out. Like,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't drive anymore, so you don't have that outlet of just being able to yell at random cars.
Although I do have the gym, but mostly the person I'm mad at there is myself.
Yeah, it's not quite the same.
Or the elliptical machine, and yeah, I can't actually hurt its feelings. Not that I would really want to. I mean, it's doing me a favor.
Yeah, you don't have to like it, though.
No, it's very true. The tops of my thighs are very sore right now.
Yeah, they are. Wait. I don't. Oh, like, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, I was going to open up GarageBand. So well, maybe I'll save that for when we're actually podcasting.
Oh my.
It's not that great of a story, but it's me, so I don't have great stories.
I'll be the judge of that. Thank you, as will our listeners.
Yeah.
Every time you say this isn't going to be a very good story, many awesome things have come out of that preface. So just saying.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, he's alive.
Hello, I'm back. Okay. And look, I have eyebrows now. It's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. Did you know that there's an entire subreddit devoted to terrible eyebrow makeup and people who've done awful things to their eyebrows?
I wish that were surprising to me, but it's entirely too common for that to not exist.
I know, I mean, I did some stupid things like plucking my eyebrows.
We all did.
When I was younger, but
we all did stupid things with our eyebrows.
But none
of the things I did were that bad.
No, I didn't do anything at all until within the last 10 years. Like, I missed that whole really thin. I just didn't care. So that's why mine are as full as they are, because I never plucked them into oblivion.
Well, and that's the thing right now. So your eyebrows are on fleek.
I guess.
Okay.
As the kids would say.
No, the kids will not say, and neither will you.
Too late. But yeah, I mean, again, I did dumb things with my eyebrows, but I didn't do anything like what I've seen on that fucking subreddit. And I'm just like, do you own a mirror? Like, it looks like a hairy sperm wiggling across these people's faces. Because it's like you've got the big bulbous tip and then the furry little tail scurrying off their face. And sometimes they've drawn it so that it's coming all the way to their hairline.
I like the ones where it just looks like a Sharpie. There's no attempt to make it look like an actual eyebrow. It's just these giant Groucho marks.
Yeah.
There's a cosplayer that I really like, and I follow her Instagram, and she posts lots of regular selfies, non-cosplay selfies, and I'm just like, oh my god, your face is so pretty.
But them eyebrows, though.
Those eyebrows, what is happening? They're clearly drawn just over where her actual eyebrows are. I don't know if she's taking them off or just hiding them very well with makeup. I don't know what's happening, But I'm just like, it's so distracting. It's so distracting. And I'm like, dude, I'm super attracted to you, but I'm super distracted.
Right, but what the fuck is going on with your face?
What the fuck is that shit? Well, it's like those women that overdraw their lips.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, it looks like you have Russian nesting doll lips. Like, I can see your lips inside of your lips, and it's very disconcerting.
I just generally think it makes people look very chapped. Like, that's all it looks to, because it's like, it's clear that, like, that's not your lip. Doesn't matter what color it is. I can tell where your lip ends. So you just look like you've been out in the cold wind too much, and you should slap some Vaseline on that or something.
Right. Well, and they always do it with the super matte lipstick, which makes their actual lips look like a fucking dry riverbed.
Like a butthole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and it doesn't help that oftentimes the people who do that are always making like duck face lips. And it's like, what a lovely pink frosted butthole you have on your face.
Oh my God.
I know that didn't make it into the podcast, but that would be a fun quote.
I do sometimes pull quotes from these, like the before times.
The before times. From the before time, in the long, long ago. I've missed you guys.
I saw a picture of like a little girl it was just from the back because she had her hair done. Her mom had done it very elaborately. But they'd taken her hair and they'd put it in a ponytail, and then they'd taken like tiny pieces off of that and turned it into this like really pretty thing that went like out from the center where her ponytail was. The problem is when you take a ponytail and you start taking pieces out of that ponytail, what you're left with is a fucking blonde butthole.
Yeah.
As it is.
It was, I couldn't stop laughing at that picture. I love it. I love it so much.
So if she'd had two little clips that look like hands on either side of it, which would have been very timely because that is a current reference that.
Yeah. I still want a goatsy mug, one of those goatsy mugs from Etsy, where like the top of the mug is like hands spreading apart and the inside is glazed bright red. And you're just drinking brown liquid from it.
Well, obviously.
Directly from the tap.
If I mention how much I missed you guys.
Just delightful and awful.
You guys are gross girls just like me.
That's
straight from the tap. Oh, God.
I'm getting my audio stuff synced up. Man, I have had a fucking day, y'all. I was so close to just being like, fuck it, I'm not showing up. It's just been a hell of a day. And then like 15 minutes before we were supposed to go live, we don't have like a coffee table or a dinner table actually. So we have like TV trays essentially. They're a little classier than what you're probably picturing, but not much. So I was trying to move it so I could get the podcast ready while I was eating my dinner. I shifted it and legs popped out and my soup.
Wait, whose legs?
I didn't take long enough to find out whose legs were popping out of my TV tray.
Oh, okay. I was like, did your legs pop out like because of the shift, or the tray's legs pop out?
No, the tray. Yeah. So the tray is not well constructed, so the legs pop out from each other and becomes unstable, and then it topples. So my soup just started sliding towards my arm, and I actually somehow magically stopped it right on my arm. But of course, soup sloshed.
I was gonna say, but you stopped it with your arm. So
at least I didn't overturn the fucking thing. But yeah, there was just fucking soup everywhere, and I was like, so poor Sean had to clean my dumb ass up, and ugh.
Womp, 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 womp. That's like that. Have you ever seen that Twitter, like, where the person takes a picture where they're putting a lasagna in the oven, like, I gotta have my lasagna, and then you see they're, like, taking it out of the oven, and then the next picture is the lasagna as they dropped it. And they're like, in all caps, my lasagna!
No. I'm always terrified that I'll do that whenever like, even if it's just I'm straining something, I'm afraid that, like, I'm gonna shake it and somehow drop it all, and You're like, oh, my macaroni and cheese that I spent 7 whole minutes boiling is wasted. What will I do? Yeah.
Today's the 21st, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like spring or some shit, I think.
I'm starting to see
What?
ground here in Canada.
That's crazy.
I know, right? I'm like, I told John, I was like, I've never actually seen the ground in Canada. I've seen lots and lots of snow, but I've never seen the ground.
Oh,
so
shit.
This should be fun.
I didn't Instagram yet. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to close erroneous apps that are going to take away. Okay.
Did you close your apps?
I have to close my apps sometimes. Else, how will I eat my main course?
Anytizers at TGI Fridays.
Oh, I
hate you both.
I miss the days when I didn't know how shitty TGI Fridays was.
Right, back in the day when I thought Red Lobster was rich people food. Oh man, so innocent.
So poor.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna take you to Red Lobster.
Through my first long-term boyfriend and I went out to TGI Fridays all the time. Those fucking Jack sauce, anything with Jack sauce.
Oh yeah,
was my favorite thing in the entire world.
When they used to have a really good roasted red pepper soup that was delicious.
Okay, so I will say I would happily eat that even at a TGI Fridays now. I love roasted red pepper anything.
They had the best roasted red pepper soup I've ever had anywhere. It was really good.
Have you tried this pepper pasta for you guys?
No.
Oh, I make a roasted red pepper and cheese cream sauce for a pasta.
You've never cooked for me.
Exactly.
I made you food.
You did.
I made you pie.
It was delicious.
You didn't make me pie.
Well,
we talked about it on the podcast, and you promised you would, but you didn't.
I made pie 2 nights ago.
Ooh, apple?
That's not helpful.
No, gooseberry.
Ooh, yes. Unconventional berry, yes.
Y'all crazy.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Yeah, I mean, this is a true thing.
Should we, officially start this shit?
We probably should.
Yes, everything, I'm all the things that I had to do are finally done, I think. So, yes, I'm finally ready. Sorry, guys.
All these things that I've done.
Look at all the fucks I give.
Look at the mannequin.
Okay. You guys have your recording software up? Let me know when you're ready.
Ready!
Yes.
All right, here we go. We're hitting record in 3, 2, 1.
I was totally going to clap first because I forget how things work.
Well, we haven't done this in a little while. So
I know.
Fair enough. All right, but let's go ahead and clap. Now, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. That is so much better than it used to be, you guys. You don't even know. It makes my heart happy because it makes my life easier when I'm editing. I'm not going to cry. I promise myself I wouldn't cry.
In the chat, Josh said, really? You like Jack sauce and no one says nothing? Nothing? It's like
a point. I think we were all reminiscing about actual Jack sauce.
Right. Well, and so for me, it was Applebee's came to Lawrence, Kansas. And for a while, that was all I wanted. I'm like, Applebee's steak is so fancy.
That and their riblets.
Yeah, riblets. Oh, Jesus. What was wrong with me? Goddamn.
Yeah.
I ate so much fucking Applebee's. Like TGI Fridays, you had to go to fucking Kansas City for that shit.
Well, I lived there, so I
didn't
have to go anywhere.
So
except to TGI Fridays.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Should we just go ahead and actually start this thing?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Me too. I didn't change the episode number this week. Amanda did.
I did. Yep.
Why are you the best? I
don't
opened it
know.
up on my work computer, started to do it. Shit promptly hit the fan because of course it did.
Oh, yeah. That's what shit does.
That is true.
Only because I haven't erased the previous GarageBand file, and I noticed that it was...
Oh.
And it was like, oh, that's the same number it says in the notes. I'm going to change that, or one of us will actually say that.
I mean, there are worse things, but yes.
There are. But there are better things as well.
That's true. That's also true. Okay, I'm ready.
Ready.
Here we go. Hello, and welcome to episode 80 of the Dork Pridecast. My name is not Rissy.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm actual Rissy. We make up a comedy group called the Damsels of Dorkington, and this is our podcast, which is also funny, depending on how much you like poop jokes and dick jokes, or if you, like me, are drunk or working on becoming drunk. Good to have goals.
I should have worked on becoming drunk.
Yeah, Blythe, you underachiever.
I know.
I actually poured myself a glass of wine, and it's over there on my table. I can see it, but it's pretty far away. And
Bottoms up.
I was too busy spilling soup to pour anything.
Sure. That does take up a lot of a person's time.
It does. Guys, I feel like we haven't podcasted in roughly 5 years.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It does feel like
extended. I mean, I guess for Blythe it was
2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we didn't last week, and the week
you're
before it was just Rissy and me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So for me, it's like been almost a month.
It's been almost 5 years.
The last 5 years.
Dilation shit, y'all.
Jason Robert Brown wrote a musical about it.
I know. I am actually familiar with the last 5 years.
It's a good. Have you watched the Anna Kendrick movie?
No.
You should.
If you want to start crying in the first 5 minutes of a movie, then by all means.
It's a really great gimmick, right? As far as gimmicks go. Like,
it is
so
a
for
really
those of you
great
who
gimmick.
are not familiar with musical theater, the last 5 years tells the story of a couple getting like meeting each other, dating, and then they get married, and then the marriage falls apart and they get divorced. And only it's chronologically reversed from the husband's versus the wife's part. So at the beginning of the show, though, from the wife's perspective, the marriage is falling apart and she's super sad. And for the husband, his songs are like he's just met her for the first time, and she's not Jewish, and he's super into that. And so then chronologically hers moves back through time and his moves forward through time, and the only point at which they actually intersect is when they get married.
The only thing I will say is if you do watch the Anna Kendrick film, and I recommend that everyone does, just know that specific fact of like the chronology is not super clear.
No, it's not. It doesn't. Like, you pick it up eventually, but you're kind of confused in the beginning. It's like, wait, what is going on?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I had to kind of explain to Sean what was happening. And in the stage show, they're not in scenes together, except for that one time.
But they're getting married. So it's a lot more obvious in the show.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's literally like Jamie sings his song, and she's not a part of it, and then switch off, and she, Kathy sings her songs. There we go. Sorry, I could only think of Sharon Renee Scott, which is the woman who originated her. I was like, that's not her name. So then Kathy will sing her song, and so it's literally a back and forth until they get to that like engagement marriage part, and they sing the song together, and then it splits again. So it's just back and forth. But in the film, they're actually doing scenes together, and they're singing to each other and participating with each other. So it's just like a scene from the beginning of their relationship and a scene from the end of their relationship, and then just kind of, moving like this, but they don't make it clear.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is entirely too much conversation about a musical that 90% of our fans do not give a shit about.
People are making allusions to Doctor Who and whatnot. So see, people at least have a frame of reference through which to view musicals.
And that is a fair, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. this is kind of spoilery. So I don't care about spoiling it for you two because you guys probably won't watch it. But if you out there listeners want to watch Doctor Who and haven't, maybe skip the next couple minutes. Because there's a character in Doctor Who has a relationship with the Doctor. But we're getting real spoilery here. Sorry, guys. She's also a time traveler.
Oh, shit!
So she is moving one direction in her timeline and he's moving the other. So like she shows up and in his mind they're meeting for the first time. But for her, it's like
the last time that they will see each other.
She basically knows because she keeps track of like, oh, have we done this? Have we done that? So she knows like this is like the end.
Also, if he's like, oh, nice to meet you, then she's like, oh, this is it then. That's really...
It's really fascinating.
But then he would get the same thing because like he would also get to a point where she's like, hey, nice to meet you. And then.
So that definitely, you get to definitely watch that happen. But it's also
sad.
You don't know who she is when you meet her. So for a long time, she keeps popping in and out, but you don't actually know who the fuck she is or how she's involved. They keep it a secret for a really long time. They do it very well, you guys. Very well.
That's also the central conceit of The Time Traveler's Wife, which is like 1/3 of a really good book and then mostly garbage. But
okay.
There's the male lead who is interesting but not a good person, and the female lead who is a good person but not interesting. They initially...
I feel like that's every couple in a romantic movie anymore.
Yeah, or book. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. God, that fucking book. But like he has a genetic disorder that causes him to move randomly through time when he gets stressed out. Yeah, sure. I know already. I remember reading this and I'm like, what? And I hadn't even gone back to school at that point, and I knew, I'm like, that's not how your genes work. That's not how any of this works. But
that's not how any of this works.
He mostly moves backward in time and very rarely into the future. And it usually happens when he's super stressed out. And so he ends up going back in time and meeting the main character when she's a child.
Gross.
But and so they form a relationship like
when she's a child. That's gross.
It is kind of gross, actually. He's very careful to keep things light and happy when he first meets her, but she actually so she knows him from when she's a kid, but he doesn't actually meet her until they're adults. And he meets her at like a party or something like that. And she's like, oh, we are in love, but you don't know it yet. And when I turned 18, we had sex for the first time, and I want to marry you, but I can't tell you that because we're meeting for the first time, as far as you know. Like, again, that book has like a couple of really good moments in it, but mostly it's just like...
I will not be putting that on my list then.
Yes, good. That's good. There's also a scene where the male lead apparently goes back in time, but not very far back in time. So he and his teenage self are jacking each other off at one point.
Like literally?
Yeah. Well, actually, they may have been doing more than that. We're not sure. I don't know if they were engaging in full penetrative intercourse with each other or blowing each other or jacking each other off, but they were doing something sexual with each other. But his justification is, we are horny teenagers, we need to vent, and we're the same person. So.
But only one of them is a teenager?
No, they're, so he can move throughout time, like basically his chrono displacement condition started manifesting when his parents were killed in a car accident when he was like 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
And so at any point in time moving forward for him, he may start moving through time. So as a kid, he might go into his own past. I don't think he can go past the point where he exists. And he only goes into the future a couple of times.
But it's not like he physically is moving.
So this was like when
meeting another one of him, or is it more like the butterfly effect sort where he jumps into his own head in the past?
No, he can physically encounter and jack himself.
I guess that's true. If he's jacking himself off and it's not just masturbation, then he's...
So yeah, it's like literally it's him as a teenager, apparently quite conveniently moving into the very recent past of himself as a teenager, and then them being locked in a bathroom fucking blowing each other or whatever.
So he basically goes like, man, I was really horny last Friday. I'm just gonna pop back there and take care of it.
So, I mean, okay, like as far as I know, Henry, the main character, is very straight. So even if it's still yourself, if you're swallowing cum, does it matter if it's your own cum or not?
I think it's still...
If you're putting a dick in your mouth, you can't put your own dick in your mouth.
Right.
That's
but you
no
would
longer
if you could.
Masturbation.
Yeah, but you would if you could.
Well, sure. I mean... But the point is, though, is that what if, at some level, some kind of epigenetic changes have probably occurred even within a week. So you're not exactly the same person, right? You've aged, you've undergone some, I don't know, cellular damage or, things have happened. Things have changed inside your body. So you really aren't the same person.
I mean, you say that, but if that were true.
I mean at a cellular level,
right.
But as an
organism,
human? At an organism level, you're still the same goddamn person.
Yes.
So I can see on one hand why he would just consider it masturbation because it's just him, but on the other hand, it's still someone's dick that you're putting in your mouth, even if it's your own dick.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, I'm not gonna have sex with my teenage self because that's gross. But if I met myself as an adult, we'd probably get freaky. Because why not?
I think
something to do.
I think the two of us would be way too neurotic.
You'd probably hate each other.
I don't think we would hate each other. We just wouldn't want to have sex. That's for sure.
Not with each other.
No.
You just fight over the same boy.
And make him a very happy man.
Josh in the chat says, join us as we try to figure out the temporal mechanics involved in blowing yourself in the past.
And the fact that, again, I mean, like the woman who wrote this book, I'm like, did you consider any of the metaphysics of this, or did you just want to write a scene where the main character fillets himself?
I mean, I feel like that's what the whole story was built around.
Clearly.
It's just she wrote the scene and then she's like, how can I make this fit into a larger story?
But it's weird that she didn't fully commit.
Right,
because you don't actually know what they were doing.
No, it's Henry's very coy about it. He's like, we were doing things, sexual things, but and so I'm like, okay, so I mean, you're a horny teenager, right? So would you let your future or past self put it in your butthole if you got to reciprocate?
I think that anal sex would be, I mean, that's
a different story entirely.
That's a big thing to jump to. I mean, that generally takes some build up, but I could see blowing each other like that. I feel like that seems reasonable.
I mean, for teenage boys, right? They'd fuck a tree stump if there was a hole in it. So
that's what I'm thinking. It's hard for me to empathize just because I was not like a sex craved teenager. I didn't.
Oh man, I was. Also, I had that period of time when I was first adjusting to my buspirone, and I think I was actually not just a sex crazed teenager, but like a sex crazed 13-year-old boy. It was like that whole breeze floats past my nipples, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
But if then you showed up from 2 weeks in the past
and blew on your own nipples,
would you then?
The thing is, that would put me in the mood more like I'm very straight. I don't think I could get over that.
I don't think you're as straight as you claim to be.
I mean, I really like looking at hot naked women, but in terms of physical stuff, what? I mean, I'm an appreciator of the physical form. As women, odds are our first memories of love and comfort are at our mother's breast, which means we probably have which is a far more likely explanation for why women are more prone to same-sex attraction.
Yes,
than men.
No, it's because girls are prettier.
Well, that too. Also, girls are prettier. Dicks are goofy looking. I'm sorry. They just are. I mean, they're very useful. Don't get me wrong. Quite utilitarian, but not attractive.
Hey, so speaking of our teenage selves.
Oh, boy.
What?
So I was going through... I pulled out this old purse that I haven't used in years.
I'm excited already.
Did you find a joint in there?
No, I never had a joint.
Me neither.
I never owned one. I may have partaken allegedly, but never certainly carried one on my person. No, I found like a few weird odds and ends and a flash drive.
Oh shit!
That I did not remember having. So I'm like,
let's on it?
Yes. Let's see what's on this. First of all, there were a few files just named like stuff or blah. And I clicked on them and they were password protected.
Oh, wow.
Because apparently I was really worried about someone finding, and it was just like shitty shit that I'd written. There's some poetry on there, and not so great. But there are some pictures, and I found a picture of me when I was like 19, and I don't really have any pictures of myself as like a teenager, and it was just like, oh, that's why I didn't keep pictures.
Oh, did I tell you guys I stumbled on the disc of the photo shoot that I did with my Christian quartet I sang with for a while?
No.
Mortifying.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mortifying. I was 18. I was awkward as fuck. I don't know what the fuck. So I'm sure, actually, Amanda, you said it was a picture from when you were 19. I was about 18. I'm sure they're equally cringy.
Well, you guys have seen that picture of me in my pirate costume at the Renaissance Festival when I was 18.
Well, yes.
Oh, yes.
And it was, and I looked, and somebody's like, when was this taken? You don't even look like yourself. And I'm like, this was taken a long fucking time ago. This was taken more than a decade ago because
it's funny because you don't think of yourself as like a kid at that age, but you look back at pictures and it's just like,
oh, I'm a baby.
How much rounder my face was, just sort of the baby fat sort of face, and it's just like I shouldn't still have had that then, but I definitely did.
I'm like, I don't remember myself having giant cheeks.
Yeah, like my face is not round. My face is very long. I've never thought of it as round, and in this picture, it was just like, oh, I guess that's what I looked like.
Yeah,
that's pretty cute.
Here's a picture of
whenever
me
people
at
are like, man,
18.
girls are never hotter than when they're 18 or 19. I'm like,
yeah, it's
a
weird thing. Although I will say girls now know how to contour, so there's that.
Yeah, like I did not wear makeup at all at that age, like ever.
I sometimes
never wore makeup.
Nothing but glitter, like the pure fucking glitter in the little tube. That's white. Like that was makeup.
So much glitter.
So much glitter. Yeah.
No, none of that. I mean, I was definitely dyeing my hair at that point because I started doing that at like 15. So, I mean, I never strayed too far. So, but yeah. But face just blank of, I mean, acne. But other than that.
You were still Mormon then, right?
Yes. Yes, I was.
Cute little 19-year-old Mormon Amanda. Gosh, we should.
Actually, I'm pretty sure, like, as I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I was 18. Like, I think this was very shortly.
We should compile a couple embarrassing pictures of us and, like, create a page that's like password protected for patrons only.
Teenagers.
Well, in this picture, I also have this look on my face. Like, I clearly did not want to have my picture taken, so it's just like, so, I mean, because I can't make a normal face in a picture.
We're working on it. Yeah, it's improved.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like we're holding a gun to your head.
Yeah, I mean,
that you smile.
There is occasionally a picture that doesn't look like that. I think the vast majority still looks like that.
My problem is that with the whenever a camera is pointed at me, one of my eyes decides it wants to roll like away, and it's like, what eye? Like, eyeball, why you do that?
Ben came to visit. He's very angry.
Oh,
he does not want to be a part of the podcast. Fussy cat. Speaking of the patrons, by the way, guys,
Bless the patrons.
I sent out packages yesterday.
Yay!
So if you were a patron at the end of 2017, you should definitely look out for those. So yes, they should be on their way, and I know I'm super behind.
You do have a super behind.
Thank you.
Mhm.
But yeah, so those should be arriving in the next couple days. The plus side of this is that I was super behind, and I'm trying to make it right. So I've been on top of everything else. And
Oh boy.
the rewards for January, February, and March, which is a set of 3, which is why we're sending them out together. The last was a set of 3 as well, are already here. I'm so excited. So, again, magnets. They're different from the magnets that are being mailed right now, which are like square and a little bulkier. These are kind of those floppy magnets you can, I don't know. Shut up. So here's Rissy eating a pour. Well, she's not eating. She's just stuffing it in her mouth.
It's true.
And then here's Sleepy Blythe, and she is all that matters. And last but not least, and Amanda, I know you were kind of iffy when the sketch came through, but I think yours has actually become my favorite one.
It's really good.
It is really good. So here is Amanda with her doctorate degree.
She can tell you this for sure.
So I'm really excited about these. But yeah, so these have already shown up. I've already started like separating them and putting them into envelopes. So yeah, I'm trying to move quickly. And Amanda, I don't know if you even saw this order, but look what else I added on to that order.
I hadn't seen.
Yay! They're so cute. So I got these little red nerd glasses that are stickers. And they say dorkpride.com down here.
I made that design.
Yeah, and Amanda make it for me.
Not the other stuff, because those are done by real artists.
And last but not least, and I'm very excited about this, I posted about this on Patreon today. But this is a fabric bag that says Dork Pride worldwide.
I love it.
And it's got these like reinforced grommets where the stuff attaches, and then you go like this, and it's a drawstring bag.
I see all the kids wearing those these days.
Yeah, honestly, I got these because, again, my favorite swag that I've made for us has come from my favorite swag that I've ever gotten. And I got one of these at an RTX fucking 5+ years ago at this point that I still bring with me. It's perfect when I go on trips. I will take bags like this with me, and it'll be my like laundry bag so that I can put all my dirty clothes into a bag.
Away from the general population.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the other inmates.
They're perfect. They're light. They, you just fold them up, and they're perfect for conventions. They're obviously a really good size if you're watching this, and if you're not watching this, you just have to trust me.
If you're not watching it, you should, because there was just a lot of very visual stuff that you're missing out on.
That is for sure true. So if you're a patron at a $35 level or above, if you were that in February, you will get one of these. And if you're not, don't worry, because these are going to be up on the website soon. And we'll definitely have them with us at Gen Con. So they'll be available. So that's my Patreon news, I guess.
That's good shit.
What do you want to talk about? What's behind you?
Oh, yeah. So
yeah, girl, get that thing behind you. It's amazing.
Well, let me just sorry guys. Something visual just happened again. So if you're not watching,
It
we
was
were talking
like
about butts.
this weekend, I decided I haven't arted in a while. I want to art. And I arted so hard, you guys.
You arted all over those canvases.
I arted all over these canvases, these canvae. That's the plural of canvas, right?
No.
Oh,
that's
weird.
Like canvas is it's not how Greek and Latin.
That's weird.
Anyway.
I'm gonna stick with it. Commitment to the bit. Yeah, so you can see back here.
Canvapotamuses.
Yes,
obviously.
that is actually the appropriate form.
This one, it looks like a bird of prey, as Amanda has pointed out, but that was just a happy accident. So
it looks like it's swooping in. Or a dragon.
But yeah, all of these are in our damsel colors. This doesn't have too much purple in it, but
there's some.
There's some in there. So that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes with this fluid art stuff. But I love it. So this one is actually probably my favorite one. So these are going to be for the $35 level and above for the month of April. This is that level gets like a larger piece of merch than like the stickers and the magnets, or a handcrafted item. And I made these with my own 2 hands.
Hermated them.
I'm glad you didn't make it with your own 3 hands, because then I would assume you were some kind of evil duplicate Blythe grown by Area X.
Well,
it's actually half of Blythe travels back in time and helps her with her art.
And is jacking off.
Yes.
I love it. So anyway, so those are going to go out to patrons in a couple months probably, and I might let them decide whether they want me to write like fucking classy or just like dicks across the front of it, or they just want them as is, because these actually turned out really nicely. So
yeah, those are I like them a lot.
These pretty. What did you guys do the last 2 weeks?
I finished reading the Southern Reach trilogy.
I just finished the 2nd book of that, which I started like Saturday.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, they read real fast. Like
they're very short. Yeah.
I just had to wait for mine to come in because I got the physical copies and they had to be ordered.
Weird.
I know, right? But yeah. What do you think about them, Amanda?
They're weird. The first and the second one were very different from each other.
Yes.
So I'm interested to see where the third one is going.
Oh man, like my favorite thing about these books is just when you think you've reached, the ne plus ultra of weirdness, the book is like, oh no, like we got more weird shit for you.
Yeah. But I get the like Lovecraftian comparison, because there are some, there's the whole Cthulhu makes you go crazy sort of vibe to it.
Right, eldritch horrors. Well, that and the way, like in the first book, when the biologist is narrating things in her narrative voice, oftentimes something will be italicized, like the thing inside the tower, and thing is italicized, which is a very Lovecraftian kind of.
Yeah. But it's interesting.
I have not seen Annihilation the movie. I hear it's good, but it also seems like it doesn't really have that much to do with the book, since first of all the characters have names. What the fuck is that shit?
Out of context, this conversation is real weird.
Well,
I imagine that it is.
In the book, one of the most important parts of the mission that's sent into Area X is that the characters are only allowed to refer to themselves, like the members of the expedition can only refer to themselves by their what they do. Like there's the biologist,
like prevent
the psychologist,
attachment,
the surveyor.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So
they're supposed to divorce themselves from their kind of other identities and fall fully into their role within the expedition. And so you never learn the character of the biologist, who is the narrator of the first book. Is important throughout the second and third ones. You never know her name ever. She is the biologist. That's how she thinks of herself. That's how other people refer to her.
Weird.
Yeah. So the fact that the characters have names in the movie is a big, like that one is a huge departure.
Yeah, I don't feel like the book would work very well as a movie.
No, like especially not if you wanted to make the second and third ones. Maybe as a TV series where you each book was its own season, because then you could have the radical shift in tone and perspective from the first to the second one and to the third one. Oh my god. I don't want to spoil it for you, Amanda, but let's just say shit gets weird. And of course, John has been listening to me reading
I'm gonna give a big dadoy to that because
and I'll be reading. I'm like, oh shit just got weird, and John is like, again, you say the Dickens, you say,
right? It's still weird. It's just getting weirder.
Real weird, even more weird. I thought we'd seen all the weird, and no, there's much more weird.
There will always be more.
So much more weird. Oh my god. It's great though. I am wholly pleased with all 3 books. I know apparently some people found the third book unsatisfying, or that there were too many mysteries, but honestly, books that weird, you're like, I'm never gonna know all the things. Not all these mysteries were meant to be solved, and I'm okay with that. I felt there were enough satisfying things that happened in the end in terms of character arcs and shit like that it was still a satisfying ending.
I did like the scene where the biologist goes back in time and blows herself.
Yes, that was so hot. Oh my god.
Yeah. Spoilers. Sorry, I should have said that first. I'll go back in time and say it before I said that. You can fix that in post, right, Blythe?
No, I mean, I can, but I won't.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Have you guys ever watched the show Another Period?
Is that about being a 13-year-old girl?
No, it's Natasha Leggero. It's Ricky Lindholm. It's a million of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Rissy, did you say you don't know who those people are?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're upsetting me so hard right now.
What, are they comedians?
Yes. Fantastic female comedians.
Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah.
Ricky Lindholm, those people I know.
Ricky Lindholm is the blonde one of Garfunkel and Oates.
Oh, okay.
Garfunkel and Oates
names
they're fine, but that is not, in my personal opinion, the best representation of Ricky Lindholm, period, full stop. So
some of their show. Their other
this is not. This is set in Victorian times, except it's a very upstairs downstairs sort of vibe. Except that the people are just over the top. They the servants aren't allowed to do anything. They give them new names. One of the characters that you're introduced to her in the beginning, and they no, we don't like your name. We're going to call you Chair. They call her Chair. And it's just everything is very over the top and ridiculous, but it's very funny. It's on Comedy Central, I believe.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It'd be right down your alley, Rissy.
Yes, you would love it.
Well, that is a well-traveled alley.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. So I got caught up on that because it's one of those where you watched it and then you kind of forgot because you ran out of episodes, and it's not on Netflix, so there's no hey, new season is out. So it was the doing something. Oh yeah, that show. I should go. Oh look, there's a whole bunch more to watch. So I did that. It's very funny. It's very silly.
In the chat, Zachary Drake says there's no hypnotic suggestion in Annihilation, the movie. What? That is the hinge upon which the whole fucking book turns. In fact, that is sort of, spoiler alert, what the title involves. The title Annihilation refers to a post-hypnotic suggestion, as well as the concept of why movie.
Okay, well, more importantly, Zachary Drake also said that he went to school with Ricky Lindholm. So
that's cool. That's cool. What the fuck? How did they just leave that part out? God damn it.
I too am angry about this. And I shake my fist at Hollywood.
It's just such a huge, important part of the book, right? That like, and the second and third books too, actually. The whole post-hypnotic suggestion shit is really important.
It's certainly important. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to leave it out is, I mean, yeah, I imagine they're probably two completely different things, the movie and the book.
It does often work that way.
Yeah, it kind of would have to be. I mean, although I would love to see somebody film Authority, the second book, like a season of The Office, filtered through like Cthulhu, because it basically is. like a super deranged workplace sitcom.
Yeah. I am picturing, this is only vaguely spoilery, and it's not spoilery unless you know what's going on. Michael Scott climbing up a ladder
and seeing all the terrifying art.
Hey, I was not going to be super spoilery. You were much more spoilery than but yeah.
Well, who would you cast as Whitby?
Keanu Reeves.
What?
No.
Whitby gets even weirder in the third book.
I don't think that's possible.
I know. I didn't think that either. That scene after the ladder climbing, basically what happens, Blythe, is the protagonist of the second book is involved in the world's most nightmarish office scenario. And he climbs up a ladder into a storage closet and discovers something super nightmarish. And there's a jump scare in it. And I won't go any further than that. But that jump scare.
A jump scare in a book.
In a book.
Which is, that shouldn't really be possible. But
no, it shouldn't. But oh man, it so was. I'm like, ah!
Well, I mean, if you ask the never-ending story, jump scares in books are definitely possible.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, I guess I had that reading House of Leaves at the end part of House of Leaves, for those of you who have read it.
I never finished it and I need to.
Okay, in that case, I won't spoil it.
Yeah, please don't.
There's a scene at the end that it's so scary. I actually threw the book away from me. I was like, ah! Like,
Did you
I could just see it in my head. I could see exactly what was being described, and it was so scary.
Did you know that author started writing a series of other books recently?
No, Mark Danielski?
Yeah.
Do you know whose brother he is?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh.
The only reason I know about House of Leaves is I was a huge Poe fan.
I still am.
Well, if she put anything out, right. Well. The problem is I lost the book. And yeah, I was reading it and I lost it, and it's one of those where like you have to get you need a physical copy of this book.
Yeah, there's no way you can do House of Leaves on Kindle.
I don't even know if they make it for Kindle.
I hope they don't, quite frankly, because you'd be like spinning that Kindle like you
have to lock it off, so it's because if you try to spin it and it just rotates with you, and you're like, no, wait.
They do not make it for Kindle.
That's good.
Or at least I'm not seeing it right away on Amazon.
I fucking love House of Leaves. House of Leaves is a triumph of postmodern literature. Also scared the pants off me.
Yeah, I just need to go over to half-price books.
Jump scares in books.
Anyway, yeah, I just found out the other day that he started writing this new series, and it's apparently going to be massive. And I was just like, I'll come back to this when he's a little bit further in. So,
I mean, the Malazan Book of the Fallen, which is good shit, but also super weird, which is like, I don't know, 10 or 12 fucking books. Like, if Steven Erikson can succeed in writing something that weird over that many books and sustaining it, I have hope for Mark Danielowski.
Daniel Markowski.
Daniel Zelski. Too many letters, too Polish. I'm sorry. Too Polish is not allowed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got sucked into some Amazon reviews.
Oh boy.
For House of Leaves.
Oh.
I would
How's
like
that
to read
going
you.
for you?
I would like to read you this 1-star review, written like 2 weeks ago. The title of the review is "If you like normally written novels, stay away from this mess." Says, if you read normal novels and like the way a normal novel is written, then stay away from this. I got to page 50 before I couldn't take it anymore. It's like reading a book from the god of chaos. Pages out of order, constantly changing characters at a rate of several a minute, random pages of nonsense. This book was way too weirdly written for me.
Well, I guess if you're a boring sack of shit, then fine. House of Leaves is not for you, you boring sack of shit.
Another 1-star review, book for adolescents. This book is silly and sophomoric. It should be identified as an adolescent book. I could see how that demographic would enjoy it, only because they have the time for the labor-intensive work required to follow the book.
Oh, somebody's mad.
Hashtag you people.
Damn. People are getting their jimmies rustled by this book.
Yes, they are. I found it confusing, therefore it was bad.
Like, well, maybe you're just not very smart. Have you considered that option?
No.
How dare you?
They're not smart enough to consider that option.
That's the problem, isn't it? Oh man, that is. Yeah. How did this get made? We'll watch shitty movies, and then one of their segments is 5-star reviews on Amazon, where they literally just read 5-star reviews of the shitty movie that they just watched. It's the best.
Oh yeah, there's some Amazon reviews. I mean, nothing will ever be as good as the Amazon reviews for The Bic Pen for Her.
Oh god, yes.
Like, or the reviews for the sugar-free gummy bears.
Anal
right?
like, for days.
Yeah. Diarrhea, never not funny. But yeah, Amazon reviews, it's good times.
Amanda, did you do anything interesting last 2 weeks?
I was the one who talked about stuff I did.
Oh, I thought Rissy started it by saying she finished books.
Well, Amanda also read the books. She just haven't finished them yet.
Okay.
And I watched another period.
Yes. Oh, that's true. You had another period. Congratulations. Nope. Still not pregnant.
Yay!
I don't know. I think I've been incubating one for 5 years.
A period?
Yes.
Ew,
that's how long
Now it's just a semicolon.
That's gonna be like so many chunks. I can't even imagine. Like, oh.
I don't think that's how it works.
I hope not. For your sake, and the sake of those who love you.
I've been binging Jessica Jones.
Oh, yeah, I like blew through that the weekend it came out. You were on vacation then, so you were busy being on the beach and shit.
That is true. I did not have access to it when it came out, so we've been making up for that. Okay, I don't want to say too much for anybody who hasn't seen it, but oh, Amanda, I was so pleased when a certain character showed up.
Which one might that be? Yeah, I know.
Say anything else.
I had I didn't know that and was going to happen, and then I'd seen something where somebody mentioned, it was just like, I don't know if that person will, and it was like, how would that happen if they,
Yeah. And so I was just like, I was so excited. Poor Sean was just like, stop it. Stop it.
Sitting on the carpet. Did you get too excited?
I mean, there's like a perpetual wet spot on the couch now.
That's from your soup that you spilled.
Yeah. That is from the soup that I spilled.
Was it pea soup?
Oh, so anyway, yes, I've been really enjoying that. We were watching, while we were in the Bahamas, we started watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh.
So I don't know.
I'm really surprised you're willing to take another chance on Full Metal Alchemist after what happened last time.
I loved Full Metal Alchemist.
Well, I know, but it kind of destroyed you for a while. I mean, I just remember
because of
you
the Chimera?
hysterics and crying.
I don't recall that.
With the little girl?
The Chimera. I hear you.
Like,
Which, by the way, is voiced by a friend of mine.
That's amazing. Well, I just remember you, like, were sobbing and, like, you asked me, like, does this ever get better? Like, is this ever stop being this way?
I mean, that is a valid reaction to that.
I'm just saying, I'm kind of surprised, and that's great. I'm glad that you took that chance, but I just remember your reactions to the first time around with Full Metal Alchemist.
Well, yeah, I mean, it started out as such a fun romp.
Right? Yeah, and then
what do you do? So it was such a like, yeah, that it fucked with me. Because I wasn't prepared. That's the thing is I have really bad reactions when I'm not prepared.
Well, and I felt bad about the red wedding because there was no way I could prepare you for that. But
there is no preparing for that. You're correct, madam.
You just have to sit back and like watch their faces as they get to it.
But I mean, honestly, the red wedding just pissed me off. It didn't upset me so much as just pissed me off.
Oh, I remember because then I got the phone call.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know, but
I feel like
why did you do this to me?
Full Metal
like
Alchemist was like tears.
Yeah.
But that one was just like, fuck George. Fuck him right in his face.
Fuck you in the other eye. Fuck you, George.
So anyway, that's been fun. So we got through the first season that just rehashes what happened in Full Metal Alchemist, the original series. Except for like the last 2 episodes where I guess they finished Full Metal Alchemist before the manga was finished, and they just made their own shit up, and it was not correct.
That's fairly common.
So Brotherhood kind of went back and fixed that.
Retconned some stuff.
Well, they didn't retcon it so much as make it what actually was being written by the author. But yeah, anyway, it's good. I like it. I like Full Metal Alchemist a lot. So that's been what I've been doing and watching.
Amanda's picking up change.
What?
Picking up change.
Picking up change?
Like a dance. Like, you know, that dance where you're like, yeah. As we all proceed to
pick up change.
It's even better. It made even better by the fact that like our arms aren't fully in the frame.
I just liked it because the red shirt on the white background made a nice contrast, especially since I can just see myself in a tiny little box in the corner.
Are you high?
So, no. I'm not even drunk. My wine's over there.
No.
It's true. It's very far away.
You are capable of motion. See, this is what makes me suspect you're high if you can't actually bring yourself to get up and get your wine.
I would have to leave the podcast and walk over there.
Rude, Rissy.
It doesn't not going to take very long.
Fine.
Amanda has ready to quit the podcast.
I think you just ruined Amanda.
Forever. Yeah. Weirdly enough, with the Southern Reach, the books, that looks very nice. And then I did see some shots.
Dubs, I can't hear you if you're talking to me because I don't have my earbuds in yet.
Not everything is about you, Amanda.
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
All I could think about was how much I wanted a makeup collaboration with like Southern Reach X Urban Decay. Like a makeup collection of eyeshadow that's all like fucked up colors and like duochrome color shifting shit. I'm just like, I would wear the hell out of that in terms of like unlikely makeup collaborations. So you could have like a lot of cool like shades of green. A lot of the color changing, like duochrome eyeshadow or lip shades, to represent the crazy, swirly, sparkly light. You could have like a really cool, like white shade with iridescence in it.
It'd make a pretty highliner.
Right? And you have to have 1,000 eyeshadows. Oh, fuck. I can't tell you why you would have that.
No spoilers,
You'll
you dumb
find out.
bitch. But speaking of
I
books,
thought about that, and now I'm kind of obsessed with it.
I'd mentioned that I read this.
That is the worst cover art I've ever seen.
Not
It's pretty
great.
bad.
And
But-
I've seen gore novels. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know when this was put out. This is just the one that I borrowed. But because I was reading a physical book, I had to have a bookmark to be able to put in it to save my spot. And I don't like to use just any old thing as a bookmark. So I had to make myself an origami elephant bookmark before I started reading. So, hang on. I have to find a way to demonstrate his little face.
Oh my god, he's
That's so cute.
So cute.
I like his little tusks
Tusk. Dun,
and his little butt.
dun, dun,
Look, it's
Baby
elephant butt.
butt.
dun, dun,
It's elephant butt.
dun, dun,
That's
So I
really
got this
cute.
book and wanted to start reading it. And then, I mean, I've finished it now. I finished it a while back, but
Oh wow,
like-
what'd you think?
I liked it. But it, like, I couldn't start it until I made a bookmark. So
He's very cute.
I figured I'd get that and show it since you made me get up and get my wine. I just almost picked up my microphone to drink from it.
Are you sure you're not high?
Yes. It's about the same shape, and it was closer, and I wasn't looking at it. It's rounded. See? They're kind of the same shape-ish. Shut up.
It's the same thing.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yep.
You guys,
Yes.
What?
I did a thing I've never done before.
Butt stuff?
No, I've done that before.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You grew a full 70s bush.
We're born with those, Rissy.
No, we're not.
Okay, okay.
That's not how.
All right, look,
unless-
motherfuckers.
Unless your mom was using some steroid hormones while you were in the womb, I guarantee you were not born with a full 70s bush.
You
Did you have some
know,
developmental problems as a baby?
my hormones
She
are
actually-
off. Leave me alone.
Teenage her traveled back in time into her mother's uterus, and she birthed.
Like Tyrion
an
Lannister, traveled out of Daenerys Targaryen's
Nope.
uterus, because that's tinfoil rustling. Tyrion, the time traveling fetus,
No.
and that's how Blythe was born with a full 70s bush.
What did you do, Blythe, for real?
Yeah.
It's far less interesting, and I feel like I shouldn't tell the story anymore.
Don't do it. You have to.
I sat through timeshare presentations.
Oh, why did you do that?
We
What'd
did
you
it
get for
on
free?
purpose, by choice. Twice.
What? Why did you do that thing?
Well, we're saving
though?
up for a house right now, and so we were keeping things very, very inexpensive on our honeymoon. So, well, first of all, we had a kitchenette in our hotel, which was great. But we went to the grocery store, so we wouldn't have to purchase or eat out so much, basically.
Right.
Well,
you should be eating out a lot on your honeymoon.
oh, girl, no comment. So the problem is that in the Bahamas, everything has to be imported in.
Oh yeah.
So it's all like literally 2 to 3 times more expensive than anything in a grocery store here. So
Were there not coconuts?
no. So we basically ate like college children for the entire week.
Ooh, ramen.
We bought like ramen and
Macaroni and cheese?
yes, I did. I got macaroni and cheese and
Oh,
I'm
ramen.
so proud of you.
And we got like eggs and butter pretty
Mhm.
cheaply. So then we got some pancake mix, and an entire box of that will make about 5,462 pancakes.
And
That sounds
pancakes
right.
are Awesome.
The math checks out.
Yeah. So it was like, we got some grapes. So there was like a little fresh food somewhere in there. I don't know. So it was like, and some peanut butter and crackers. Yeah, like so just like super.
You should have
super
put
cheap.
the peanut butter on your pancakes.
Oh, girl, that is what I do. My
Okay,
parents
good.
taught me as a young child. I won't
Okay,
make
good.
pancakes any other way.
Yeah, as well you shouldn't.
Anyway, so we were trying to save money, and so we were eating kind of shitty. So first reason to go to a timeshare presentation is they feed you like real food. So we're already like, oh, that's appealing. But then on top of that, both of the timeshare presentations we went to also gave you a free excursion.
Well, yeah, usually that's really why you go.
Yeah.
Is for the free thing, and then they hope that you will just cave to the pressure.
Exactly. So we got to go jet skiing and we got to go snorkeling for free.
Nice. Oh, wow.
And
now you own a timeshare, so congratulations.
One of them was off-site, so they were really pressuring to get us to go there. So she offered us a bottle of rum, a Bahamas baseball cap, a Bahamas bag, 2 t-shirts, which were horrible, and I left there. But the bag turned out to be really cute. The baseball cap was cute. And the rum, Sean and I drink so little that we got totally plastered twice off of this small bottle.
That's awesome.
So we weren't paying for drinks at that point. We weren't. Yeah, so there were so many reasons. But the best part was we'd sit through the timeshare presentation, and then they'd get to the pressure spot.
Right.
Well, would just start throwing numbers back at them because I can do math. And so they'd be like, here, how about this number? And we'd be like, no. And they'd go, well, what if we do 0% financing for 6 months? And I go, and so I'm doing quick math, and I'm like, yeah, that's still X amount of dollars per month if we want to take advantage of the 0% financing, and we just can't swing that. And this, like, every time they throw, so, well, how about this? I'd be like, we can't do that because X, Y, and Z.
They're like, no, you're just supposed to say yes, and realize it's a bad idea later once you've signed the papers.
Did they explode like 1980s cartoon villains, like when you Care Bear stared math at them?
Like literally, the first lady like looked at me when
you saw Melania Trump. Like,
shut up. So she threw like
and her terrible fake titties.
She threw like 3 scenarios at me, like getting lower with the total each time, and I kept deflecting with actual cold hard numbers and explaining why that wasn't a good deal. And finally, she goes, okay, thank you. And shakes her hand and leaves.
I mean, there has to be a point where they're just like, okay, this is not happening.
That's awesome.
Well, and they got there really quickly. Like, it didn't take long because they
look
realized
how fast you annoy people.
Yeah, basically, like when you start doing to them what they do to you.
Yeah, they don't like it. That's
no, they do not like it.
Also, Blythe, there's a song in the chat that you should sing.
525,600 pancakes. 525,000 flapjacks so sweet. 525,600 pancakes. How do you choose your breakfast meat? Thank you.
Oh, that was
delightful. Thank you to William Priest for writing that for me.
Yes.
That was wonderful. Seasons of pancakes.
Anyway, so yes, timeshare presentations. I recommend them if you're not easily duped into some bullshit.
I'm easily duped into bullshit. So.
That's fair.
Yeah. But if I had you with me, then I could just be like, you have to talk to my wife.
But luckily, Rissy, you don't have any money, so
there's that. It's true.
They'll get you to sign something anyway. So
yeah, that's true. They don't care because then you're on the line for it, whether you can actually afford it or not.
Yeah.
Zachary Drake in the chat says, "Wait, we can just type shit in chat and Blythe sings it."
Measuring meat, measuring meat.
It was your honeymoon, so I'm sure there was.
Better be measuring that meat.
There was a lot of meat. The last night we were there, Sean was obsessed with eating every kind of conch he could get his hands on. And Islanders will tell you that it's an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, that's not really true for anything.
Yeah, no, of course it's not. But so we were going in search of conch, and every time we'd tell someone we wanted conch, they'd be like, oh, conch, huh? Oh, yeah, honeymoon, conch, huh? Dicks, right? Am I right? Dicks. Y'all gonna fuck was basically what they were saying.
I can't get the oyster thing because I'm just like, it's like a big like shell full of snot. How is that supposed to turn you on? You're just gargling down mucus is what it's like in your mouth.
I mean,
it's not.
Conch is completely different, though.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
it is.
I'm just saying, like oysters as an oyster, you know, being a famous shellfish aphrodisiac. And
oysters are delicious. They do not affect your amorousness.
Oysters are big old hawked up blobs of snot in their own shells.
You haven't had good ones, and they're all about what you put on them. I
should put Kleenex on them because they're big globs of snot.
No. I had some recently. There's a place nearby that has, it's a pretty nice fish place that I
in
would
a
never.
landlocked state.
Yes. I would never go to normally, but they have a really good happy hour, and they have oysters for cheap that you can buy singly. So we would get a bunch, and they had this red wine sauce type stuff to put on them, and they were so good.
I can't ever eat oysters ever again, not that I wanted to, but I saw a video about how like a lot of times oysters have little crabs that live inside them.
Oh, yeah, they're supposed to be lucky if you find them and you're supposed to eat them.
It'd be like a turducken, but with crabs and oysters.
But I just saw like the crabs crawling around on the oysters, and I'm like, nope!
Maybe if the clams weren't such whores, they wouldn't have crabs.
They wouldn't have crabs. I'm like,
also,
okay,
they
so
should just shave their pubes, and that would.
We've got oysters, which are supposed to look kind of vaginal, or at least some people say they do, and they're covered in crabs. I'm like, I don't want to put my mouth near that. I'm mostly straight, anyways.
Mostly straight. A little red wine sauce, and we'll see.
He'll be eating some clam then.
Full of crabs.
Rissy, speaking of crabs, do you have a Dork Pride chat for us?
Yes, I do. I do not have crabs, and I do have a Dork Pride chat.
Right.
Can you imagine, like, as a tangent, like, what it's like to, like, be like, oh, this is my life in the 21st century. I have pubic lice. Like, to have that experience. To be like, this, I never even had head lice, much less pubic lice.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So just the idea of like looking down and seeing like small
tiny bugs,
moving all over your genitals. I'm just like, what even that? Yeah.
Please don't talk about lice because it just makes me itchy even thinking about them. Like now I'm like,
you're getting the Coke fighters.
Yes.
So my Dork Pride chat. So because I've literally spent all day thinking about how much I want a Southern Reach Urban Decay makeup collaboration.
Oh my god,
it's made me insane. So my thought is, if you could have a collaboration with a media property, like what would you that would produce a line of products, right? It doesn't have to be a makeup collaboration, but like could be a line of hats, or it could be clothing, or it could be candy bars. Like what would you pick? What media property would it be, and what company or product would they be collaborating with, right? So for me, I would like a horrifying tale of nature and supernatural or possibly extraterrestrial life, and it assimilating human beings and creating mutated new life forms. I would like to wear that on my face in makeup form. And I think Urban Decay would be perfect for, if you don't know about Urban Decay makeup. They're kind of famous for, in the 90s, they started this trend of like naming products things like mildew and smog, and they have like a whole line of eyeshadows named after like weed, different types of weed, or like terms related to weed. And so I think they would be perfect for that. Like, if you have an eyeshadow named like alien duplicate version of yourself or something along those lines, Urban Decay would definitely be the brand. Also, their eyeshadows are like really richly pigmented, but also go on quite smoothly. So quality shit.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. But yeah, so this has been in my brain like a lot. I'm like, man, I really want this makeup to exist that will never exist. So yeah.
Okay, I have mine.
Okay, go, because like I feel like this is a really good question, but I also want to think about it.
Yeah, it's making you. It's making us think really hard. But I came up with one that I like. Okay. I would like a line of like personal protection
condoms
products. No, not condoms.
No.
Like
Goggles?
oh my god, all of you calm down. No. Like mace or
tasers.
Not just those, but like tasers and mace and all the things that are geared towards women usually. It's becoming a big thing now because women are being attacked. So these personal protection, like some of them will be like like these rings that are shaped like a cat, and you just slip it on when you're walking by yourself. It's a key ring, and you just it's basically, I mean, it's almost like a brass knuckle except it's pointy, and if anybody approaches you, you now can literally just punch them with a pointy object, and it's gonna weigh.
Right, which is like when they say you're supposed to walk with your like key. The key sticking out.
Right, not somebody's nose. You walk around with it like this, so they know you stole another human being.
And then you just say, "I got your nose," and they go, "Oh shit!" and they run. Yeah. So a line of these products. But I want them to be Sailor Moon themed.
Oh my god! In the name of the moon, I will punish you!
Exactly. And I want them to all be like based on the attacks of the Senshi.
Jesus Christ. You're a monster and I love you.
And like, you know, the really deathly ones, like the ones that actually do damage would definitely be like outer Senshi.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, there's a lot that we could do with that. I'm just saying. Adorable and empowering is Sailor Moon's like thing. So
I like it a lot better than those Japanese like disguises, the anti-rape vending machine disguise. It's a dress, and if a rapist is chasing you, you run around a corner and you unfold the dress and it turns into a vending machine. I'm not making this up. This is a real fucking thing that happened. And then they're just like, oh, I guess there's just a vending machine. I better go. I'm not going to stick my dick in that vending machine.
I'm going to buy some dirty underwear in this vending machine.
I really like your idea, Blythe. That's a really good idea.
Thank you.
Amanda,
what you got over there?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of Sailor Moon themed weapons.
I mean,
I like Zachary Drake's Werner Herzog motivational poster.
That's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Have you ever looked into the eyes of a chicken? you will see nothing there. There's only the void for the chicken. I love Werner Herzog so much. He's so amazing. So that I would buy that. I would buy that shit in a heartbeat. I mean, that's like, I love like the old school demotivators posters. I still love those. So yeah, like the Werner Herzog kind of version of them would just, so good. I like that a lot.
Amanda, do you want us to try and help you?
I don't know. What sort of help are you offering?
Well, like for instance, I just started going through some of my favorite properties, and I was thinking, like, what about Battlestar Galactica? Can't find anything there. Firefly, can't find anything there immediately. So I just started going down the line and trying to think, like, yeah,
I mean, so that's kind of what
your favorite things, and maybe we could help you find a way to, you know, productify it.
That's true. Oh, Joshua Donovan had Alien franchise dental products. I will admit, if I'd been able to have a retainer that was like a little alien mouth coming out of my mouth, I would have worn the shit out of that retainer.
One of those things to keep, like a mouth guard to keep you from grinding your teeth at night.
Right? That would be actually fucking awesome. Jeez, you guys, this is good. Maybe we should get some Kickstarters.
Or a CPAP machine, just the full on.
That could be the face hugger. Yes, a face hugger CPAP. Face full of alien ling long.
I like it.
That's good shit right there.
Oh shit, you guys.
What?
Starbucks is having another like special frappuccino drink.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Like the unicorn.
Yeah.
Right.
I just got an email that said it's the Crystal Ball Frappuccino.
Crystal
Ball.
Okay.
Gaze deeply into the yummy swirl of the Crystal Ball Frappuccino blended beverage. This mystical and peachy treat arrives in town tomorrow and only stays a few days.
This is the worst collaboration ever.
It super is. It says, which mystical topping will you get? And apparently you can get different colored toppings that are for like magic, adventure, and luck. Like, what?
This sounds gross.
Oh, I'm probably gonna buy one because I'm not basic of a bitch.
You guys, there's some good shit. X23andMe, a genetic testing kit to see if you're a clone of Wolverine or not. That's really good. That's so good.
Oh, God.
Who said that?
That's JD DeMott. That's brilliant, sir. X23andMe. Oh, God, that's so good. Avengers themed dildos. I
mean, anything themed dildo.
Elvis suggests Lord of the Rings or Narnia themed kilts. I could get behind that.
Ew.
Not
you
a kilt
just
person.
hate kilts.
I just can't get behind kilts.
Can you get underneath kilts?
Hey,
I literally wouldn't. Wear them like no judgment. I just can't get behind kilts as a product we're promoting. So
Elvis, I think it's a good idea. Blythe has just been traumatized by the Renaissance Festival.
She's not wrong. Amanda, did we come up with something for you yet?
No.
We gotta do this.
I know.
What? Come on, you gotta have some. Let's talk about your favorite things. We'll riff here. Right. We'll find it together.
You like Dragon Books by Robin Hobb?
Yeah, but that doesn't. I really like Star Wars, but I feel like there are no tie-ins for that. So. Nothing about that sentence was true.
Okay, wait a second. Let's reverse engineer this one instead. You like rock climbing?
Oh, yeah.
Is there any media IP that could fit into that?
I think harnesses. I think unfortunately 50.
Or what about like walls? Like, could you do like a themed rock climbing wall of like Star Trek and like people are chucking boulders made of foam at you in lizard costumes while you climb?
Man, Star Trek Escape Room, shit! That's good.
It'd be
have
fun.
to fight the Gorn.
Did I tell you about the escape room that I did?
No.
I did a Terminator escape room.
Oh, wow.
That sounds fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Sarah Connor.
We had to. Skynet was about to release the software that would make everything go to shit, and we had an hour to break in and like delete the file or whatever. So that was the get to the point in an hour thing. So it was fun. We made it with 6 minutes to spare. It's good.
That is good.
Oh my God. Scanners franchise headache medicine product from Joshua Donovan. Oh, actually, there are several suggestions for rock climbing kits. Captain Kirk from Star Trek 5, Tom Silk, you are a monster. Sisyphus themed rock climbing gear from Zachary Drake. Now that's just cruel. Although I would love Greek mythology branded shit. There's actually a line of high-end women's clothing, like kind of quirky fashion called Hades, which is pretty cool. It's like kind of quirky sweaters and shit.
There's actually, so with rock climbing things, it would be a stretch and it wouldn't be a good crossover, but something Portal themed where like some of the gear was.
I like that.
Yeah. I want like climbing shoes that look like the Portal boots that let you fall from forever and not get hurt. I want those to actually exist and work the way they do in the game, though. So
that would make rock climbing less scary.
It would. It would if you just knew that it didn't matter if you.
Yeah.
Although Captain Kirk has those fucking rocket shoes, or is that Scotty who has the giant like rocket harness on his fat body in Star Trek 5?
There are a lot of fat bodies in that.
Well, sure, they're all old as balls at that point, but I want to say that like Scotty like hovers, like levitates up, and you're like, oh damn, Scotty. I think, is Kirk actually climbing the mountain and then Scotty flies up there? Boy, that movie was really bad.
In the chat, Josh says, medieval times airlines, the staff all freaking the fuck out over how they shouldn't be in the air. What the fuck is this sorcery?
Oh, Spock had the rocket boots. Okay. Zachary Drake's Icarus Airlines. Oh, shit.
That sounds dangerous.
Right, we're going to fly you into the sun.
Oh my God, Joshua Donovan says Leprechaun, the horror movies themed Irish bar with real Warwick Davis.
Now with real Warwick, well, I mean, after a certain point, it probably need to be hologram Warwick Davis.
I feel like any horror movie themed bathroom mirrors where they can tell when you've looked away for a second and then something just like moves in the corner.
I would have to spend so much time cleaning my bathroom floor from all the
because you would pee all over it all the time.
Pee on my floor again.
Yeah. Why did I buy this mirror?
Yeah, somebody snuck into my bathroom and peed on the floor.
I keep putting this mirror in the garbage and it just shows back up back in the bathroom. How do I get rid of it?
Not terrifying at all.
Yep. Well, there's those people who have the shower curtains with the silhouette from Psycho on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least that doesn't move.
Well, unless you're, it's really late at night and you're looking at it. Yeah,
and there's actually someone in there.
Right. I got a good chuckle out of it when I saw it in the catalog, but I was like, yeah, I could never have that in my house.
No, you cannot. You would definitely pee yourself a lot.
I would, yeah.
You'd be scared.
I would. So I think we finally came up with a cool thing for Amanda.
Yeah.
It'll work. It'll do. If you guys want to show me how this game is really played, use the hashtag Dork Pride Chat and let us know what interesting crossovers you would like to have happen. Because they'll probably be better than mine.
No, not better, just different.
Just different.
Also better. That is going to do it for this episode of the Dork Pridecast. Of course, as always, we want to give a big thank you to Sarah Donner for allowing us to use music off of her latest album, Black Hole Heart.
You can find the Damsels of Dorkington on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Also, if you have a few minutes, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on iTunes. That is an Area X-sized help to us that costs you $0.
But if you do want to contribute more than $0, you can go to patreon.com/Damsels of Dorkington and become a patron, where you get awesome things like getting to see pictures of us as awkward teenagers that we worked very hard to keep off of the interwebs. Or also, you could be on a list of like super awesome people that gets thanked at the end of every podcast, like such as the following people.
What are we doing?
This is an even ep? Yes, yeah.
Yes.
We have an even episode, and gosh, I don't know.
Misery brand sledgehammer, William Priest. That's very funny.
Only works on feet
and ankles. We could fart their names, like what we'd imagine their name farts sound like.
Go for it. Why don't you start us out?
Yeah, we might follow, or we might just. Okay, why not? Also, oh, here we go. I can't get it going. God damn it. Hang on, I can do this. Henderson.
Like Mary who's trapped in your ass trying to get out. And all she could manage was a fart.
Josh.
Screaming.
Joshua Chris.
Josh. Run. Jessica. Raul.
Oh my god, what the fuck are we doing? When did we turn into 12-year-olds?
When did we not be 12-year-olds?
Oh, you're right.
When did we not be?
Okay. All right. Also, more thanks. Here we go.
Damn, Richard Hirsch, you got a loose asshole.
I got too much air and not enough air tightness. Wait, hang on. There we go, I did it.
Sean Romer.
Okay, and last but not least, for these super special thank yous, a big old thank you to Alec. Hang on, you can't hear it. It's
He's already farting if you're just listening.
Alec Teller. There we go. Yeah, that's great.
I'm super impressed. I've never been able to do that.
Wow.
Oh my god, that took a lot more effort than I thought it would.
Although your hair is like, you've got the JBF hair.
Guys, that was a lot. Oh, that was a lot. That's how much we love you, though. Oh my god, we love you.
We also want to thank Joseph Harris, April Barker, Adam Rowe, William Priest, Jason DeMott, Kevin Larson, Darren Wilson, Marion Polenkin, Jeremy Hanna, and Rusty Hill. So thanks for joining us, everyone. This has been episode 80 of the Dork Pridecast. We will see you all next week.
Deuces.